Yeah.
Born ready, says Richard. Born ready. Apologies for being a wee bit late. We were chatting, as per usual, doing the whole bullshit and peace and respect and all that. Oh, excuse me. Did you like the new intro? What did you think of the new intro? Did you like the new intro? I'm working on the intro. We've got a new outro as well. Shout out to all the Patreons and all the members and everyone who's fucking joined. No. The outro's more important. The outro's got everybody who supports the channel, you know, and everyone who's here watching, all 7 of you. We've got Spooky, we've got Amber, we've got Dargendorp, Ian, we twirl for Ian, we've got Clout, Carol, and Nanalu. I think I'm saying that right. I hope to goodness I'm saying that right. Well, thank you all for coming back again. As per usual, on a Tuesday, we have Richard, and we also have forgot to check where we are, so we're guessing 1313, I think.
I'm not guessing, I'm looking it up.
Oh, you're looking it up? Okay, who wants...
I know it wasn't where you have it.
Right, no, this is what we're going to do. We're going to nominate somebody, right? We're going to nominate somebody in the chat. Why the fuck is Regios not a fucking blue member? Yes. Who wants to be nominated? Who wants to be the official rememberer of the verse? Nobody. No, shh. We're going to nominate somebody, right? Somebody in the chat. Hey, we'll do it by nominations. We've got 4 votes, 4 nominations. You know, is that, if it involves being responsible, not. The only thing you have to do is remember what verse we ended on last week. That's it. The week before, you have to pop in at the start. You don't even have to stay for the end of the show. You don't even have to watch the whole show. You just pop in at the end, watch the last wee bit, see where we are. And then next week, it's not high expectation. I suppose it is. Neither one of us can do it, and we're the co-hosts. Like. I'm running out of things to say to fill up time while you look this up, Richard.
We're in Revelation 14, not 13.
Ah.
So look at 14, 13. That's probably going to be it.
I knew it was somewhere around there. I knew it. Right. Well.
12 more. Another 12 more verses.
12 more verses.
14 something. Probably 14, 13.
12 more chapters.
Something about that.
12 more chapters? Could be 12 more verses.
14 is the chapter.
Yes.
And then verses are the individual sentences or paragraphs. Those are verses.
Yes, but if we're in 13, 14...
So we need to go down about 12 more.
No. Oh, we're in 14.
No, wrong way. Yeah. Here we go.
Ah, so not 13, 13, 14, 14.
Something about that. Now I just have to find our place.
Somewhere around here. That
Yeah.
help?
Yeah. 13. Yeah. Your memory was right about 13. You just kind of overdid it.
Underdid it.
Underdid it, overdid it. Something like that.
Well, I'm nominating Clout because Clout is usually here and they have been chatty in the chat and here from the start. So, official, can we have a vote, right? We're going to do a wee quick poll.
Doesn't he get a choice about this?
No.
What is this, the communist state? What's going on here? Democracy forever. Oh.
I don't even, this is going to be worse spelling than anything. There we go. We'll make it all funny.
That's right, guys. It's MathPig, not Spelling Pig.
Not English Pig.
Not English Pig, Math
Yeah.
Pig.
Should we have Clout for official rememberer?
It'd be nice, but then we don't find out till the show starts. Are you sure you want to do it this way?
We are live.
What's he going to do? Email us ahead of time and tell us where we were? I mean, I'm okay with that. But
He's adding extra respect. Now he's putting the high expectations on it. Clout,
it'd be logically it's not adding stuff. It was part of it in the first place. It's logical necessity if it's going to be useful.
If the man turns up and shouts 7 every week, I'll still appreciate the man turning up and shouting 7 in the chat. I don't care. Shout 69, just as long as the man's here.
I get it.
Right. On that note, Richard, 1413.
Suppose we might review some of this book here.
This old thing that you felt the need to like tie and ink into your hand, you know.
So you remember last time it was a summation. Here's the patience of the saints. Blah 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 blah. Okay.
Richard, they say you sound like you're in a cave. It sounds good to me. Looks like it's bouncing okay. Can we get a wee bit of feedback from anyone else apart from Carl to see if it's just Carl or if it's maybe my end or it sounds okay here. Just wanted to make sure.
How about if I do that?
Sounds exactly the same to me. And if it sounds the same to me, it sounds the same to the audience because that's where I'm stealing it. Anyway, we will run on. People will let us know. Richard, 14, 14, 13, 14?
Yes, exactly. Lots of numerical sequences.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Write, Blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yea, King James, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them. And I looked, and that's going to be a topic change. Okay, their works do follow them. Let's stop right there.
Hey, Bree. Right. And I heard a voice from heaven saying
on everyone in the side chat, including Bree. Yeah.
There you go. Spooky. Spooky also says it sounds cave-like.
Is this? I'm gonna scratch the mic. Is that the one that's working?
It sounds exactly the same to me. I really don't know.
Do you hear me scratching the mic? Do you not hear me scratching the mic?
No, I don't hear you scratching the mic.
It's on the wrong microphone.
And my dog's looking out, so we're both going to walk off screen. Look at us being all... What did you call that channel? Fucking Debate Cafe. Both the hosts walk off.
This happened the other day as well. It just switched microphones without me asking it to.
Bree has blessed us. We've been blessed by the Bree.
Do you hear that scratching now?
Yes, a wee bit. Not so much.
A wee bit. You should hear it like loud as hell. Hold on a second.
No, really quiet.
I have to find the other place where you have to select for that. I can't remember what the other place is.
Bottom right.
Just put up with it this show.
Bottom right hand corner under your bottom right hand corner, volume tab, Windows 10, volume tab. Hit right click on that. It'll bring up your sound settings bar.
Slow that down, man.
I'm doing it in my head. I'm looking at myself doing it.
yeah, great.
No, Jim would probably be, if can we live with it? Can people live with it?
I can't get the darn thing to respond at all.
It's fine, Richard.
Okay. Sorry, I'm going to mess with that some other time.
Yeah, waits too long. If people can hear you, that's the main thing.
I would just speak louder. Okay. Where were we at? Mark his name.
And I heard a voice from heaven.
And I looked. Oh, wait. What?
We were not going to cover 13. You're just going to skip over it. Is there something in there that we should be worried about? And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Right, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. So what is blessed are the dead which die in the Lord? So is this up to the sky?
Well, you know, the dead means non-believers. That's a pat phrase. It should be capitalized like a movie title, but the translators didn't know that, so they didn't capitalize the dead.
Can we just clarify that you take all this meaning literal and all the rest of it, except when it disagrees with what you're saying, right? So you're right and they're wrong.
Lots of people disagree. We can always say that. These are the opinions of Richard Madison, not necessarily a representation of the channel MathPig.
I just want you to agree at least once a week that you are changing something to make it suit yourself.
Yeah, I'm changing it to make it suit the rest of the Bible and be consistent, and that's my view.
Right, Richard, hold on.
And I think if it's inconsistent, you can make it say whatever you want.
Hold on. You just keep talking and go 1, 2, 3 for 5 in a minute.
Okay, so the dead is a pat phrase, which means those who are unbelieving and will go to hell, those who will die.
So you're right.
Which is why Jesus is born out of the dead, because he was an atheist, or some word that means atheist, for the first part of his life until the Father worked with him. So that's what the dead means here. So the dead that die in God, well, that means they've changed their mind.
Richard, everything just went freaky deaky in my end here.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Can people?
So that means they repented of their old
Do you not want to know
ways.
if the stream's still going? I'd like to know if the stream's still
Sure,
going.
I'd like to know that.
Is the stream still going?
Let's get a comment in the side chat to that effect.
It looks like it's feeding, but all my screens just went black when I tried to change Richard's settings on this end. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave that alone. We're going to leave. I thought
Let's just let that go for this time.
Yeah, I know, man. You've got a wild echo, and I think it's the fucking software for this mic is overlapping and sending you out with an effect to make you sound in a cave.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is exactly why I use bone conductor earphones.
Everything has just went fucking.
Things like that.
Everything has just went black again.
Lovely.
I don't know what's happening now.
Can you hear us?
I generally don't know what's happening now. The stream is freaking out. I don't know if my computer's freaking out or something. Did you infect me? Right.
The only disease I have is not very contagious unless we have intercourse.
Okay. We can hear us. Can we see us? Looks like we're waving. Looks like we're back again. Right. There's a wee bit of a delay now, but we will go with that, Richard, before it crashes, because we do only have Richard for a wee while tonight. He's talking to Mark Reed after this.
On his channel.
Okay, Richard. Go.
Sir.
Read the freaking version. And I looked, and behold, oh, it's going to freak out again, isn't it? Behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle.
Yep.
Would you like to comment on his big, sharp sickle?
Not yet. I'd like to back up a little bit.
Okay, okay.
Again, I'm going to say that the voice from heaven here is literally a thing that tingles your ear, a really loud noise in the actual atmosphere. Are we at 14? Did you skip backwards? No, we're in the right place. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Blessed are the which die in the Lord. That means they repented because they were dead before. Now they're not. They'll be fine. And yeah, what compliments and the Bible actually goes into great depth about this particular part, although it's brief right here, that we are a complement to heaven, that we add to heaven. No matter what you learned on the earth, whatever skill you have, whatever personality traits you have, is a compliment to heaven, and you're a big deal. That's what it's saying right there. Now we can move on.
Stream looks like it's fucking buffering.
Aye.
Doesn't it?
Well, then they'll hear this eventually. And I looked,
no,
and
they
behold,
won't.
A white cloud. No, they won't hear it.
And it's back again. Yeah, just keep going, man. We'll just work through it tonight. I don't know what's happening.
And I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. So this is obviously Jesus. Again, this is the part where he arrives, cometh with clouds, right? And the sharp sickle. It's about to go into a lot of metaphor, creating a visual picture in your head about harvest time. That's going to be the theme here, the sharp sickle. Funny thing, modern English conception of the Grim Reaper, if it didn't come from this, sure looks like it came from this. So I don't know. Maybe some people think this is going to sound evil, or in our culture, it's going to sound evil.
Rich, you're right. So the idea of the sharp sickle and this entity, you're saying this is the reference for the Grim Reaper.
If it isn't, it's right in there. Because, wow, all the same symbology is here.
Well, seeing as we're talking about homework for next week, did you do your homework last week?
I forgot it completely.
You're very busy week, but you were like, give me a week.
Very busy weeks. Yeah, what was it? I can't remember what it was.
You were
what was I supposed to do?
The clout. Official remember.
What was Richard supposed to do last week before you even got this job that you didn't volunteer for?
He was here.
What was that?
Here. I don't. He's the official remember.
Well, wait. If the teacher can't remember the homework assignment, do I even have to turn it in? Don't help him, Cloud. Don't help.
Right. So we've got that. Right. Okay. Sharp sickle. Okay. Verse 15, please, Richard.
Yeah. So this is. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud. So this is like the Father empowering the Son. Thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. There you go. The people are ready. Well, if they're there, I guess the people are ready enough. Some people will be more ready than others. And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth. That on right there is probably the best that you can do, but the word's not on.
Yeah, I understand your meaning.
And the earth was reaped. So it was very symbolic, and all of a sudden, and not to be taken as literally 1 millisecond of a time frame.
Richard, your homework last week was to read the part where about the 4 beasts and the 3 beasts. And
three versus 2 individuals, yes.
Yes, and
I'm going to try to forget that this week.
Now, if I can just say, shout out to our official remember that wasn't even here last week because they say they were presenting, but they said 3 Hail Marys and 2 Our Fathers, which made me think of numbers. And that's how we got to the 4 and the 3. So thank you, official remember.
Wait, it's not 4 and 3, it's 3 and 2.
It made me remember it doesn't have to be fucking clout. As long as clout turns up, says 7, makes us remember something, they're doing their job.
But it was the exact numbers clout used, 3 and 2. It wasn't 4 and 3. But anyway, that being aside. And another angel came out of the temple, which is in heaven. He also, having a sharp sickle. This would be the Father then, because those are the 2 that collect from every earth, is the Father and the Son in each iteration. And another angel came out from the altar, which had power over fire. And he cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, Thrust in thy sharp sickle and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. Again, this is people, the whole weird grapes, they are the vine kind of thing again.
I can see the metaphorical nature from this. Yeah. I'm still waiting on my mushrooms. I'm still waiting on my acid trip. Like,
that. Sorry, I don't have any mushrooms.
No, but from this, everybody's like, we all...
Dude, all you got to say is angels act on reality, are sentient beings not from this planet, and you're into ancient aliens. And as soon as you say ancient aliens, the rest of this it's just not an acid trip.
It really doesn't seem it. I see people, thank you, Spooky. I see people make these statements, Revelations is an acid trip and all the rest of it, and all these atheists screaming and shouting. And nobody's actually read the goddamn thing. So
I think they have read all the words in the order given.
They were probably read it by a pastor when they were in, church or something.
Yeah.
It's, they're getting the same information that a Christian has. They just think they know better because some atheist told them what it means, rather than some pastor telling them what it means.
Right.
But that's why I wanted to read this. I wanted to see,
Bart Ehrman and Richard Carrier are not doing better than your standard Christian. They only don't assign value to the truth statement of the text, they still read it the same damn way. They're no better. They're exactly the same. The only thing is they don't think it's true. Anyway.
Oh my goodness. Oh, what is going on here?
Oh, by the way, I would debate if any of you guys know Bart Ehrman or Richard Carrier and can set up a debate with me. I'll take that. I'll stomp them on the ground and break the stick off.
Richard,
They don't.
Richard, it's all freaking out over here. The audio has changed settings as well. I've just noticed something. Just talk.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Absolutely nothing is giving me any bouncing on OBS. This is an OBS issue. I can monitor no audio, so can people let me know? It is all vanished. Nothing is giving me any bouncing on OBS. This is an I know mine's working. Say something, Richard, and then mute for a second. Say something and then just be quiet.
Something, Richard.
Okay, hold on. Nothing is giving me any bouncing on OBS. This is an I know mine's working. Say something, Richard, and then mute for a second. Say something and then just be quiet.
Something, Richard.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, there's echo feedback. Okay, right. Do apologize about this, people. I don't know what's happening, so we'll just power on through it till we get to the end. Yes, Richard, I would see the metaphorical nature of the reaping of that as in taking the people up, and you're definitely in a cave. Yeah, you're very epic. So, yeah, I can see that.
But whose cave am I in and which cave are you in?
Technically, it's
That's
my
the larger
cave.
question.
Technically, it's my cave.
I don't mean like cave as in house. It's a philosophical reference.
Yes.
Never mind.
Okay.
Read
Read away. Go on ahead.
Maybe I'm the one that's not in the cave.
Shh.
Maybe.
Shh.
Find my place again. 300 distractions later. Sleep as a leper.
15. 16.
Yeah.
17. We are 19. 19.
Which means our pictures are in the way of me being able to see it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, of course. That's fine. Lovely. And the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth and gathered the vine of the earth and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of God. This is those who will die. Those who will physically die with the planet. That's why the second reaping. The first reaping goes to heaven. The second reaping, not the second half like second half of end times. The second reaping here is thrown into the wine press, and the fat of the grapes is rendered, if you know what I'm saying.
No, I didn't. I was typing into the chat. Could you repeat the last wee part, please?
I said the fat of the grapes will be rendered.
The fat of the
That is
grapes.
to say, they'll die with the planet. That's what this is talking about here. That's why Jesus reaps twice.
I thought you said it was the Father as well.
Yes, the Father and then Jesus. And both of them were Jesus, and Jesus reaps twice.
Okay, so there's two reapings.
Yep. Pretty cut and dry.
So what is the depth? What is the point in the two reapings? That's the first time that you've mentioned that there's two.
Well, you got the harvest floor, right? And then you got the wheat and the chaff is a common theme. That's another way to say the same thing. And it's like, okay, you grew a crop, this planet, and it grew wheat, us, and also weeds or tares, people who just won't accept the truth even when they see it, which is fine to want to see it, nothing wrong with that. But if you can't accept truth when you do see it, you got issues. So you have the wheat and the tares. So you thrash the wheat. That means you put it through some crap. You put stress on it, right?
Yeah.
And that separates the wheat from the chaff. And then there'll be a clearing of the threshing floor, and all the chaff will be burnt. Is a regular theme. In fact, I think like Jewish farmers still burn the chaff because of this.
Right, this is what the crack is. We've only been doing this for half an hour.
Till it back into the ground, but
right, we've only been doing this for half an hour and the stream's crashed about 7 fucking times. So you keep talking, Richard.
I think we should just call it a day, man.
No. I can fix this in like 2 minutes with a reset. I just need to turn it all off and back on again. And if I'm very quick...
Turn me on and turn me off again.
Oh no, I just need to be super quick. That's all. So, you're doing a chat with Mark Reed. Is that on your channel or after?
That's on his channel.
Oh, interesting.
I voted. Now it's at 50%. Oh, somebody else voted and offset my vote. Damn it.
They've already accepted. Is it buffering? It looks like it's buffering like crazy in my end.
I'm looking at the show on YouTube and it looks like we're still live.
Yeah, I haven't cancelled it yet. I'm getting prepared to do it in case it happens one more time. Okay, it must be in my end then. I'm getting alerts and stuff here, so that's fine, Spooky. We shall just continue to go. I will assume it is my end. Go on ahead then, Richard, and we shall bring back this.
Beginning of chapter 15, verse 1.
Okay. Darg, if you're right there, Darg. Sorry, I'm shouting into the mic. Darg, if you're right there, please help. Please help. Right, chapter 15. I shall give it a go. And I saw another sign in heaven. Great. Excuse me, yeah, please do. Please do.
Help me, Dargendorf, yeah.
Not only that the production is usually an awful lot better, it usually doesn't crash like this. I have no idea what's happening now. Dargendorp is my friendly computer guy that helps me out when this thing happens. But yeah, watch all the other episodes. It's usually a lot better. Right. And I saw...
You're so self-conscious about it. You didn't create the problem.
I didn't...
It's okay. People will love you anyway.
I spent an hour tonight making sure the new intro and the new outro and all was working, and then the software crashes on me. We're not even going to talk about it. Let me read Revelation, please.
Or just steal the images for the new intro. Maybe there was a virus, a disease in it.
I made it all. What are you talking about?
Of course you did.
I made it all.
Of course you did.
And I saw another... Shh! And I saw another sign in heaven.
This is a very different topic. Should we go on or should we cut it short?
Well, we've only been going for a half an hour, and we have.
I know, and we've had 7 interruptions. I mean, I'm starting to feel like there's a sign.
Well, Nanalu is first time here, and they just said they're here, so I'd like to continue on for a wee while. And if it crashes again, I am prepared to fix it all within the time it takes me to shut down and restart my computer, which is about 45 seconds, 50 seconds if I do it quick.
Okay.
So.
And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels, having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of God. That should be fulfilled, not filled up the wrath of God. But fulfills the wrath of God, probably better for our modern
fulfilled language. Or filled up, or I am filled, or what's the connotation? What's the context you're going for?
It's complete. It's filled up. It's done. It's nothing left to add. Filled up. So we're about to get into the 7 plagues.
Having the 7 plagues, for in them is filled up. So in these actual angels themselves is the annoyance of God, a representation of the annoyance of God.
It's not annoyance, but okay, yeah.
You're slightly annoyed.
No.
Wrath is annoyance. Wrath is pissed off.
No. I think that's the best that translators could do is come up with the word wrath.
If you fucking say hug, I'm gonna smack you, right?
If I say what?
Hug.
Hug?
Hug.
Like an embrace?
Yes.
Like a kiss? No, it's not exactly a kiss or a hug.
Right, come on.
But Christians read this, and in their tribalism and pride, they think, aha, God's going to get you, you damn bastard.
Hold on now. The person. No.
What this really is talking about is people getting the evidence they need. That's what this is really about.
So is that to this episode where you change the word evidence or even a frickin' prophecy, or what would you say? A moment of clarification, a testimony. There could be any word put in there. Wrath has a bad connotation. Don't make me do another poll. Don't make me do another poll.
Do another poll. You'll find out that people in this culture think that wrath has a bad connotation, and they're right. But this was translated under a Christian presupposition of pride and tribalism.
I'm telling you one thing. Last week I did a bloody poll and it came out at 50-50. And this week I did a poll and it's at bloody 50-50. I'm just not doing any more flipping polls. They're always...
You play with your polls all you want, man. And you just be happy about how you play with your polls. And don't worry about other people.
I want to play with my poll.
That's their own business.
Right, we're ending the poll. It's round 55. Right, Maya asks, is there any other way to take wrath? According to Richard, there is.
Of course there's other ways, but they're presentism fallacies, and it assigns value. Here's the problem I have, Maya, which I think you're brilliant, just by the way, and I'm not going to mince any words about it.
You say that in different etiquette.
If it is true that Christians make no sense in reality, part of that is their reading of the Bible, which means their reading of the Bible makes no sense in reality, which is why so many people reject the Bible. But what we're talking about here is not the Bible. We're talking about the person talking about the Bible. And I find that Christians are just generally bad at thinking. And it's not just the Bible they have bad thinking about. It's other things as well. Because they're just not like trained in logic. So they don't exercise it. They don't know how. So when the translators who had those Christian presuppositions within certain churches, and every Bible is from a different church that has their own presuppositions, it's like saying I have to translate it this way because my church told me to think of it this way.
Man, the word wrath is not religious context or anything like that. The word wrath in the English dictionary, in the way it's described, means bad. So it's not taking the translation because your or your pastor told you that.
Yeah.
It means wrath.
I know what the word wrath means, yeah.
Look at you looking up the biblical word. You see, in Nanalu, this is what we do. We disagree with each other. And then Richard's like,
wow, I didn't notice this many times. In the King James Version, 198 times the word wrath. 198, my gosh.
Mm-hmm. That's nearly 200.
Mm-hmm.
None of them good, as Maya points out.
Okay, first occurrence out.
Spooky, I could turn my mic down if I had control of OBS. I'm barely even getting this screen. The bot is like giving me, instead of this, it's like...
Second word, ebrah, not up.
Ablah. Kablah.
So that's two different words that came out as wrath. I'm going to look at a third one. Hold on.
That's all right. I just want to check. No! The second one sounded Klingon. Kablah!
This one's haran. It's a complete... Those are three different words that came out wrath. Which one do you want me to use?
Christopher, my audio...
Is the fourth one going to be match something?
Clout agrees.
Oh, we have op again. Let me see what that means.
OBS crashed earlier, Marty, and I can't fix my audio right now. I'm afraid to touch it.
Of course, P is very close to F. It's supposed to be pronounced F, so off.
Fla-fla.
Off.
Oh, we're back to Klingon.
Blah, blah, blah.
We're back to Klingon.
It's a real Hebrew word, man. It's not Klingon.
You don't speak Hebrew.
Derivative of the word off. Which is to breathe hard. So that was off, to breathe hard.
Oh, I'm so annoyed that I can't fix anything. My superpower is not bland food, Christopher. Excuse me. You did not see. Did you see it? Was it in the cult? I made a beautiful chicken, sweet corn, onion, broccoli, cauliflower, onion, white sauce with freshly baked bread from the bakery, granary bread with some seeds and stuff. I'm going to smack our grid leader. Richard, can you stop looking up wrath? We all agree.
No, I can't. Where was that? Was that 14?
Here.
What was that?
15.
14 what?
15 1.
15.
15 1. Like the first
Oh,
number.
great. The King James doesn't even have the word wrath there. There is no listing for Revelation 15 word wrath.
There is. I'm looking at it.
Stops at 14. Oh, let me see. Hold on a second. No, that goes to Genesis 1.
Spooky, you're in mainland England. Your food has only got flavour in it because of brown sauce and battering things.
What's wrong with butter?
Battering. As in
What's wrong with butter?
Nothing wrong with butter.
Oh, batter.
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 Deep fat friend, yeah.
You mean like some kind of
wheat
product and then deep fried, that kind of batter?
I am not talking food with you right now. You're going to stop looking up wrath or I'm going to kick you. There is a sea of glass mingled with fire, dying to be talked about.
I have to look up this word wrath in this verse right here, so I'm sure that I have the right word. It's thymos, which is, of course, Greek, because you New Testament, but it's based in another Greek word, thuo. And that's the way that we think of it: to sacrifice, emulate, to kill, slay, the pashal lamb. To rush, to breathe hard, blow smoke, to sacrifice.
Polish sausage is overrated.
And there's no root in a Hebrew word, so all the rest of them I read doesn't even matter.
I said it.
Anyway, I think it's a translation problem.
Of course, that's now twice in this episode that you're right, they're wrong, and I said that at the start, and we just wasted all this time talking.
I'm consistent, they're inconsistent. That's why I think they're wrong automatically. Now, me being consistent doesn't make me wrong, but if you're inconsistent, you're definitely wrong.
Ask most people that know me. I'm usually wrong about most things, you know.
You're usually what?
I can't lean closer to the mic. People will shout at me. I'm trying to keep my voice.
It's fading in and out by my perception. No joke. I'm not.
Oh, you can't be serious.
I'm not kidding you.
Right, this is the last time no, it's the exact right one. I'm leaving it.
Would you say again what you'd said before? There's a good chance.
And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast.
Over the beast.
Excuse me, I'm speaking. Over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of God.
Yahweh specifically. Okay, so this is really interesting. Glass has some reflective properties. People normally read this as if the fire is in the glass. I believe what's going on is there's on the bottom of the mercy seat, the habitation of Yahweh itself, the highest heaven, the biggest spaceship, that there's literally like a space-proof floor in the bottom of it that looks like it pretty much looks like glass. It might even be really thick glass, who knows? And that's where the people chill out until Jesus goes into the New Jerusalem and takes over his heaven. So everyone who ascends until Jesus ascends is hanging out under the throne on the sea of glass, mingled with fire. That is, the earth's on fire below because they just removed the oceans, you know?
I heard about that.
Yeah, I've heard something. I've read something somewhere. Don't remember where.
There was a volcano. There was a volcano involved.
And this is where people are hanging out, going things like, "Oh, I've lost all my money." They're in the bottom of heaven. They don't really get what's going on. They've accepted the reality, but they're still not associating it that they've ascended to heaven. They don't really get it yet.
Oh, okay, right. It hasn't sunk in with me, and I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire. So what's that?
It's a big glass floor. Like they're literally sitting on a big glass floor in heaven, watching the earth get destroyed.
Okay. The previous verse was a group of 7 angels that are filled with, for everybody else in the world, wrath.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
For you, it's just them passing on and doing God's work, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's a sea of glass. And you're now talking about the main character.
No. The angels aren't sitting on the sea of glass.
Yes, that's my point. You're now flipping to the people who have been harvested are now in the
These are these who had victory over the beast and over his image and over his mark and over the number of his name. These are those who ascended in the second half. They had to fight all this stuff. The angels don't fight any of this. Like, what angel is subject to the number of the beast? Seriously.
That's 100% fine. The verse before it literally said 70. I'm wondering how you went from verse 1 to verse 2 with the story in your head. Now, I have no connotation, no Christian aspect on this whatsoever because I have no memory of it, and I'm reading it and I can't make sense. I don't know what the point is because I've literally read 1.5 verses and I haven't got the full story. For you...
I read more than.
Okay. I'm trying to break it down as I go along because you went from verse 1 to verse 2 and was completely different scenarios. It was like... So I got lost by you and the wording.
No, it's reasonable, but I'm a big cheater.
No,
I already have an overall context for all this.
This is why I'm asking for clarification. So in verse 1...
It's going to be clarified over
If you interrupt me one more goddamn time, I'm putting you backstage. Alright?
I wouldn't blame you.
I'm hovering. It's just, I don't know what happened, Brian. I'm not even going to talk about it. Right. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels, having the 7 last plagues, for them is filled up with the wrath of God. So these 7 angels are standing on what I think I got from you, the main spaceship, all ready to go and do the work of God according to you and according to us. Plagues and wrath. Not so good. Right. So then, scene 2. Where are we in scene 2?
Depends on whether or not you came to believe.
I'm asking what you believe, Richard. The show's about you. Don't make me kick you. I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire. So I am now not an angel, not the person writing it. I am writing it from the perspective of the previous people from the previous earth. Or the previous gods, or the previous... Is that what you're saying?
That's right.
Oh, I got...
That's perfect.
Right. How the fuck did you get there? From angels to there. Do you not think that's bad literacy, bad action? Even in this sort of style of writing, it's bad.
No. I don't think so.
Hi, Falcon's Eye. Nice to see you. Grr. You're here. Grr, we will be doing not much, like another, I think, 45 minutes or something?
I can't do 45 more minutes.
That's what I'm asking you. I'm guessing. What was it? Yeah, we'll be finishing.
I'd have to go look. I had 120 minutes from the beginning of this. And
oh, well, 120 minutes from 11 o'clock is 1 o'clock in the morning. So that gives us a full hour and 10 minutes.
You say so.
Oh, yeah. We've got 45 minutes. So if you want to do a stream, Gerb, just schedule it for 45 minutes. We'll come over, we'll talk aliens. So, I'm wondering how you went from verse 1, where it's, I'm angels, there's shit happening on earth. For all the previous story, there's this shit happening on earth. Then they walk in, and they're like, we're in the spaceship, we're ready to deal this wrath with plagues, that's good, according to you, on the earth, for the people. And then suddenly it flips. Like, they're in the process of reaping everyone. I get that. And I can see where later in the story it would be these people have now been harvested and are in the ship. But it's a giant jump in this particular literary to jump from the angels to the... Are you going there because of the consistency in your story, or we need to maybe read more so I can get context. Richard, can we read 2, 3, 4, and 5, or wherever you think it's poignant?
It doesn't immediately address it. It's later. But here are some rational reasons, I think, that this is not talking about angels in heaven under the throne of God, but it's talking about people who are recent arrivals. Okay? Now, it may be true that any given angel who did go through end times, washed their clothes in the blood of the Lamb, and ascended into heaven and lived with God, did go through end times. They did this stuff. But the topic here overall is teaching the new Jesus. It's not really talking about, 3 earths ago or something. It's talking about the immediate teaching lesson. And those that do this right here, right now, during the event that is being described here, would be people on the earth, not the angels from before.
Reading the first 4 words of verse 2, and then reading the first 2 words of verse 3. It now makes sense, because it's a particular person watching both events and not taking part in these events. It makes sense by reading on and reading verse 3. Verse 3 describes they, so it's another group of people apart from you. And verse 2 for the first 4 words is and I saw as it were. So it's a person looking upon. So I've now got the context. We're on the same page.
Okay.
Give us a verse.
For a reason, but okay. That's fine.
Yeah, I read it, so I didn't listen to you.
I was trying to stay with just that,
You were going to talk. You were going to say something about aliens and spaceships and shit. So I just read the text.
Well, every show I will say something.
Okay, go with verse 3, and I am trying my best to keep my volume at the exact same level. I don't know if you know.
Your audio just cut out while you were explaining you're trying to maintain it. It cut out. And they sing the song of Moses, the servant of God, and the song of the Lamb, saying, this is the song, great and marvelous are thy works, Lord God Almighty, just and true are thy ways, thou King of Saints. So the people in the bottom of the mercy seat now that they're in that position that they're in, they now feel that the scary stuff was justified.
Now, where do you get the idea that they feel it? I'm reading this, and what I can see is that these people who's on the spaceship by the person who rules it, and we know my stance on these aliens, so could you discern to me the difference between these people doing something that they feel is necessary to stay on the ship to the point where their emotional change has happened? Can you show the difference?
No, that's a lovely challenge. I really deeply appreciate the thought that went into that. There is no way for either of us to show either position.
I'll agree with you in that.
Yep.
We're back to me having a different religion under your internal critique.
Yes, this is one of your doctrines that is not one of my doctrines.
Technically, this is not a doctrine because I don't like this idea, but empire rules.
No, it's wait. It's a reading frame that you hold on under your religion. It's a doctrine.
Don't you dare tell me what I take under my religion. I made up this religion myself. I will continue to make it up.
It's still a doctrine, even if it is your religion. You just continue to make up because you can't find it in the text. We both agree.
Empire rules. Okay, so we're at somewhat of an agreement. All right.
The only challenge I would have is because there's some that are there and bitching about it, that it's not coloring it as if everyone has a positive reaction. It's not. And they apparently have freedom of speech. They can say whatever they want about it. So if it's going to say some bitch about it, right here it's saying some are okay with it. That seems fair.
If I can just shout out to Arctic Timberwolf, I didn't get to see your stream on Gers the other day because Gers started before me and then I had my time, so I wasn't doing that, but I watched a wee bit at the start. But I'm sure it was a wonderful conversation. Gers always a fantastic host and not a shit at all.
So sarcastic.
No, this is me trying to keep my volume at the right volume. Don't you dare say it cut out.
It was okay, actually.
So they're singing this song, Go Empire. Who shall not fear thee? Now, I don't know why you would have to sing about not fearing your great leader.
Yeah.
It seems a little bit empire rules. No?
Heil Hitler? Yeah.
You said that. I did not. All right.
I'm not in a debate. I don't lose just because I said Heil Hitler.
There is no group teaching me religion, Brian Stevens, apart from an influence from Richard, my mother, and yeah, that's probably the only religious influences I would have in my life that I would speak religion with on a regular basis would be Hill's Farm, loving the new name, is Richard and me mother. So I would say they would be influences in my religious, and then everybody else I meet on the internet. But,
so interesting. If I were to like make a chart, a sine wave of your volume as I perceive it, it's like come.
Look at your volume now. It's absolutely zero. Isn't that beautiful?
You believe this guy? Anyway.
Did Derek come back? Or are you talking to yourself?
I was just pretending someone was there.
You tell people you're not crazy, yeah?
Everyone can pretend there's somebody there that's not. It's called acting. And let's see. Yeah, great, marvelous are thy works, Lord God Almighty. Just and true are thy ways, thou King of Saints. You could say that that's like, obviously they're being coerced, or obviously they mean it. You could say either one. Who shall not fear thee? This word fear, again, this is a respectful fear, not a trembling in your boots, paralyzing kind of fear thing.
Say that
it's
again.
not meant to be thought of that way.
All right. Oh, okay. You said that too fast for me, and I'm Irish. So can you? It's fear, but not that type of fear. Could you clarify? Could you say that again?
A respectful fear, not a paralyzing fear.
Is there such a thing as respectful fear?
Yes.
No.
My grandfather was infirm and disabled and in a wheelchair, yet when he said things that were wrong to me and disrespectful, I did not beat him up. I have fear for my grandfather, who I could easily beat up.
Well, then why are you afraid of him?
It's not that kind of fear.
Then what you said made no sense to me, hence my question. You can say it that way in a different analogy, but it's the same. Yeah.
That's because the translators used a bad word here.
I asked you, and you used two different stories, and I didn't understand either of them.
Respect. It should be respect, not fear. Just replace the word fear here. In fact, throughout, whenever someone positive is talking and the translation comes out fear, just replace it with the word respect.
Are we now getting a hat trick tonight with the translator is wrong?
A hat trick with the translator? I don't.
Sorry, that's an English term. A hat trick is 3 goals in a row, same team. So that's.
I recognize it from hockey, but
hat trick, as in, you know, this is the 3rd time tonight that we've been talking that the translators are wrong and you're right. Wrath.
No, they're always wrong and I'm always right. It happens a lot more often than I ever mention. It's just tonight you asked about 3 specific places.
I find I'm very articulate and listen to you more than any other motherfucker I think on the planet, except for Derek. I have listened to you more than anybody else. But anyway, we've got fear. Fear for me is not respect. You watch the general idea of an awful lot of stories is the 2 things that go by. You can rule by fear or you can rule by respect. I don't want to say that it's a true dichotomy. I don't want to say that they're opposites of each other. But in the aspect of leadership, you can lead by getting respect or you can lead by fear. And I think that you want one, but it says the other. So you're doing a whole flip-flop, flippity, flip-flop. Oh, am I fucking boring you? Cheeky fucker. Okay, Brian has described, I don't get it. Fear is a conceptual embodiment of cognitive discomfort caused by the unknown result of a lack of predictability. I'm going to take a chance and type in the chat. See if it broke the computer.
Shut down the whole stream again by accident.
Yeah, I've been afraid not to touch a goddamn thing.
I think the way that fear is being used here, it doesn't mean to be literally affrighted. And I think a better word for our modern language would be respect.
Can I just point out that you went and did your whole I'm looking up the frickin' translation, and you sat back and then relaxed, didn't tell us what the translation was, and just mentioned again what you thought it was. So could you
the translator did fine. In the Greek, it's phobos, which means literally fear. That's what it literally means.
So you didn't want to say that you were wrong or admit it, like you did with the last one when you
started that way actually, but
screamed wrath about 4 times in different versions that you thought agreed.
The context is just more important than the word itself.
That's all right. Keep interrupting me so I don't finish my point. That's cool. That's cool, Richard. Just go with the hat trick. Go with the hat trick. Everybody's wrong. I'm right. Just say it. Just say it. They're all wrong.
They're all wrong, and I am right.
Yes, but you see, sometimes when you say things, you say it because it's what you expect people to hear so they can move the fuck on, but you don't actually believe it. And this time, by your actions, by not going wrath, and all the different ones, you were like, damn, motherfucker, I really thought I was right that time. And that's a true, genuine, I'm right, they're all wrong. So thank you.
Yes, it is. I mean, even if the word is literal fear in the Greek, doesn't make the context like a paralyzing fear. It just doesn't make it.
Now, Nanalu, thanks again for coming by, Nanalu. Fear of God, profound reverence and awe.
Yeah, respect. No.
I would not say reverence and awe is respect, but I can see a 2-step process. I could see you going from, fear to reverence and awe to respect, but I can't see you going from, you're at C, Nanalu's at B, and A is what's written in the book. So I can see more of a correlation. And if I think I'm right, Nanalu, you would be of the Christian, if I'm not, theist, or if I'm wrong, correct me, please. But I can see more agreement with that point of view than I see with yours, because I see you at like C of ABC.
Okay.
I could make a connection.
Maybe I should have skipped that meteor step, but
skipping a step usually doesn't get you anywhere, though. Just because the ends.
So here's the thing. Whomever Lou, which word I can't see, so forgive me. They're quoting theologians, church fathers, people like that.
No, they're not. They just said where they're quoting from. Merriam-Webster dictionary, and they used fear of God.
Merriam-Webster in a religious context, not a philosophical context, I'm sure would define it that way. Fear of God, but that's because of the theologians and church fathers. So it's an indirect quote. Theologians and church fathers is who read this. I'm not the first one to say it doesn't mean in our thinking of it as like a paralyzing fear is the wrong way to think. I'm not the first one.
Okay.
However, I hate quoting them because they're so often wrong about these things.
You are using the words fear and respect interchangeably. I would very much like that my daughter respected me. Do you think that my daughter should fear me?
Depending on what time frame you're talking about?
No, that's the wrong clarification.
It could be that fear is the right word to use, but in today's way we're using this language, you shouldn't use the word fear. You should want your daughter to respect and love you.
Yeah, well, you're changing respect and fear right now in these words and these languages in this English that we're using right now.
I'd like you to repeat the last several sentences, please.
You're saying that the translation is using this word because it's English. And I'm like, yeah, we're speaking English. So we're using these words.
No, we are not speaking the same English.
Whenever we are talking about the differences between respect and fear, we are using these English words to convey an idea of what we understand to be respect and fear. We are having this conversation, us talking.
Yeah.
And in the context of us using the words of what respect means and what fear means in the language we speak, we are speaking English. Yes, we are.
This was written in 1610.
It's good for it. You're the
It's not
one.
the same English.
You're the one changing fear to respect.
It's not the same English. This is a presentism fallacy.
Healthy fear, like rock climbing, but having a fear while doing it, is that it? Is that the analogy you would be going with?
I don't really go with that, although I'm sure that's true in reality in our experience.
My daughter has recently been, wanted to help me light the fire. She was slightly afraid of it. I give her a welding glove that's good to 4,000 degrees. Honey, you can put your hand in the goddamn flame you want. You're going to be fine. She now has respect for fire, knows what it is. She overcame that fear.
Good for her.
I can understand that, but that's a personal fear and a conquering of it. I think that sort of fear, the fear that you're talking about, Uncle Beck, that fear is designed to be conquered. And I would describe that more as an evolutionary fear, to keep you on your toes, to know where your limits are, and to make sure you don't jump off a fucking cliff stupidly. That's an evolutionary sort of thing. I don't think that as fear as in a biblical sense. Definitely not respect. I'll respect the mountain, when I climb the motherfucker, but that's a different thing. In my opinion. Did you freeze or did I freeze?
I can't really tell when you're talking and when you're not very much.
Is it when I move my body because I'm standing right here?
I don't know. You have to speak and move your body at the same time.
A boogity boogity boo. A boogity boogity boo. A boogity boogity 3.
All that seemed fine.
Oh,
I don't know why.
Fuck's sake, right? I don't care.
All of that, to the left, to the right, center, all sounded the same.
I'm not even going to bother. I don't care right now. Right, go on ahead,
Now
Richard.
you're silent. Now you're talking.
Right, go on ahead. Yeah, it's the distance. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I can't even monitor it.
And
Right.
now your lips are moving but not talking.
I wasn't that time. I was talking under my breath about how much this is annoying me. Right. Finish.
Well, try to be me where I don't even know when you're talking and when you're not, and sometimes your mic works and sometimes it doesn't, and it sounds like I'm interrupting you all the time. Try that one. And then get cussed out for it.
You're making me out to be a cunt now. Right. Finish the chapter. And after...
No, I'm not.
And after that I looked, and behold, the temple of the tabernacle of the testimony in heaven was opened. And the 7 angels come out of the temple, having the 7 plagues, these lovely plagues, because, wrath is good. 7 plagues, clothed in pure white linen, and having their breasts girded with golden girdles. And, right, there you go. It says and, so we'll stop there. What's your thoughts on that, Richard? Did you hear me?
I heard all of that.
Thank you, TP. No child should ever fear anyone, especially family. Respect is deserved and earned. Fear is forced into someone.
Right. The temple of the tabernacle of the testimony. Boy, that's a complicated idea right there.
Right? Can I say the temple of the tabernacle of the testimony is a subsection of the ship where all these motherfuckers is like the drop ship of an army.
That's really close, but it also involves a living person.
Yes, well, you don't drop robots. At the moment, we're still dropping people from drop ships. But I see this in your internal critique from the temple of the tabernacle of the testimony in heaven. considering it's a temple, so it's important. Tabernacle, wow, testimony, but it's definitely something. So the strength of the testimony, these people, these are the angels with the viruses, they're coming. So I'm seeing a mini little ship dropping people off, you know, APC sort of thing, dropping people off from the main mothership.
Which I think will not be like having thick steel on the outside of it. Probably everything has force fields around it. That's what it looks like to me. Like they're not scared of nothing.
Well, I'm sorry that I can't see inside your head. I've only got 4 years experience. I'm going off that.
You do pretty good. Actually, I've said it before. I'll say it again. You're almost ready to do this show without me. Okay, testimony, heaven was opened. This is angels descending, having their breasts girded with golden girdles. So that's special. And if memory serves me, the golden girdles has to do with being the lamb or the one with the sword proceeding out of his mouth, i.e. Jesus. So we've got 7 plagues, clothed pure white linen, which is the righteousness of saints, having their breasts girded with golden girdles.
The idea of the breasts girded with golden girdles says to me, with my sci-fi movie background and all this sort of stuff, like it seems to me some sort of armor, some sort of protective armor.
Yes.
Because we are
more decorative than useful.
Battle armor. I'm seeing, no, I never have seen any usage of armor unless you're going into battle in every scenario. And considering that these angels with the wrath of God and in an APC, I'm seeing, I'm seeing battle armor. Think for the people in the channel, is it Akira? Not Akira, Akita. What do you call that? Battle Angel Akita. Whenever she does her flashbacks and she's on Mars, that battle armor. That's what I'm seeing.
You're absolutely right that to be girded about the paps with a golden girdle is to be wearing armor. Yes, chest armor. That's right. Breastplate. That's correct.
We have a shout out for gold chainmail and we have a shout out for necklaces. We also have a shout out for girdles are normally used like braziers.
Well, that's true. By the way, gold, about as hard as lead. So unless the gold has magical properties, it's not just regular gold, not much for actual armor, which is why I said, yes, it's armor, but it's more decorative and show-offy than it is practical.
Did you take the armor off the aliens and check it for fucking what it is, or it could just be gold colored?
Let's see. What's the word right there? Oh, yeah, gold. It says gold.
Yes, and I can look at something and discern that a metal painted in a golden color or a golden alloy, it doesn't necessarily need to be pure gold. The people reading it, the people looking at it, the people describing it, describe it as gold. You're reading it literally. Are you it didn't say literally cyborg insects come out from the hold of the spaceship. You had to take that as it.
It literally says that. It says they even sound like metal. And it says that they're composites of different veins.
Okay, fucking bad example, okay? Bad fucking example. Or maybe I just know you too well. But the point of what I'm saying is, you are taking translations, you're taking liberties to some of this readings to make it more alien than what most people in the world read it at. But at this particular instance, you were taking gold as literal gold, and are you not open to the idea that someone could be looking at it and see a gold alloy, or see fucking titanium painted yellow?
Sure, it could be titanium painted yellow, but it wouldn't be important that they have titanium painted yellow because nothing ever attacks them.
One of the recent sci-fi books that I read, the particular person was very strong as they had got access to cyborg implants and stuff. Don't even worry about it. You'll all laugh at me. But his particular group of people, they were an army. They were a section of the army that was upgraded. They did not go in combat armor in black or white or tan or any of this army colors. They went into armor in bright red because them motherfuckers were indestructible. And when people seen them coming, they ran because they knew they would die. Now, there's no decorative color or anything to just red. It's just red. You could say blood or whatever, go that route. But it doesn't matter. They could have been pink. All right. By the end of the story, he painted up with stickers on it of a unicorn and all. It was quite funny. But when he's walking through the battlefield and you see red armor, you know who the fuck that guy is, what the fuck he's capable of, and you run. So this armor could be the best golden alloy ever, because it's, you know, gold's good for transmitting and use it in microchips. Oh, we're just going to go down the route of nanotechnology now. So it has to be a gold alloy to transfer this information through it. Doesn't mean it's not necessarily 100% gold.
I don't know.
Okay, good answer. Brian
Except
Stevens.
that nothing attacks them.
Brian Stevens is upside down. It's apostrophe points. Did I even type? No, it didn't type. Although he did try. And you can't put LOL at the end of it. Oh, you can't. Brilliant. Oh, you got 65,000. That's not bad. It's the first time he ever says he checked points. Right. I'm thinking it's battle armor.
Okay, it is definitely battle armor.
Definitely battle armor. And you would say,
just the fact that it's a girded.
Would you also be open to the idea that the gold is being used for its technology benefits rather than decorative, and the fact that it stands out in color does not necessarily mean that because it's gold it's a wonderful thing? It can be, or decorative, it can just be, look at me, I be racking shit.
Actually, I think it could be a little bit of both. Especially since about 20 minutes ago I claimed that everything has its own little force field, and that's why they're not scared of anything. That's why they're not worried about their physical security.
For what sort of army sends anybody into the battlefield in, like, what, so they're going to walk in their boxers then with a force field around them and have that much confidence in it? No, they're going to have armor on in case their battery runs out, in case something happens. I think their armor.
The armor is generating the larger field.
Still, regardless of that, you
Something
will.
like that could be.
Right. We'd stop talking fucking alien movies, because I have like 6 in my head right now, and I just watched Tom Hanks with that Tomorrow movie with flashbacks of the future and shit and all, like in the resort.
I don't know this one.
No, it's quite new. It's not that good. The concept is good. It's why I come up with the whole idea of Revelation. Come on. Funny tangent. Someone in my comment section the other day goes, if you're going to do this, can you please get it right? And it's the Book of Revelations. And I'm like, no, or the Book of Revelation. And I was like, no, I say Revelations to wind up my co-host. And their response to that was, it's clearly working. Right. 7 angels out of the temple of the tabernacle of the testimony in heaven have just come down with their plagues, clothed in pure white linen. Ireland makes good linen. Used to make it not too far from here. Having their breast girdle. And one of the 4 beasts gave. Did you hear that, Richard?
One of the 4 beasts gave.
4. Oh, you're talking God. Oh, you're going to say godly beasts. Yes, sorry. I see. No, I just heard 4 beasts, and that was your homework from last week that you didn't check. Remember?
No, the 4 beasts weren't the homework. They were evil things.
Yes, these are good things. That's why I shut myself. Yeah, these are the 4 beasts of God. Yeah, I shut myself up. But yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
And one of the 4 beasts gave unto 7 angels 7 golden vials full of the wrath of God. Oh, so we actually have the vials of poison. The vials of plagues.
Yes, the wrath.
We have about 15 minutes left, Spooky. That's why we're trying to get to just the end of the chapter. Yes, so these vials are would you agree that these vials are plagues or viruses or something? Because it's making big reference.
Well, no, not all of them. They're very different, each one from the other.
Can I also point out that we're reading this and it says vials, and we all understand what a vial is, you know, like we think of it like a test tube or something, but it's a small container and the context is there, right, of what it is in both old and past. And personally, I'm not going to say anything ancient alien-y or I backing up Richard, but a text of this age talking about plagues and vials seems a little forward thinking. So I am not saying that aliens exist, but I can see where these crazy people, not that Richard is, but other crazy people come up with these ideas.
Yeah. Maybe vile is the right idea overall because of the shape of it.
Or you're just agreeing with me now because I went aliens. Come on, give me fucking 4. Give me a quad point.
But probably cylinder is a cleaner idea here than a vial full of
Wouldn't
from
matter.
a laboratory or test tube or something like that.
Val.
Because some of these they end up translated as sensors or other words like that, and this switches back and forth between vial and sensor and
Right. Well, if I can say, I don't know the exact. Hi, Andrew. Thanks for coming by. I don't know. I can't say for sure, but virus is the origin of that word, because val to me has a context of carrying something. I don't know if it's the reading frame or the fact that I've smoked a lot of really good weed tonight while we've been watching this. But val to me is a something sciencey, medically, you know, carries a phage, carries a bacteria, carries a virus, you know. So I'm wondering if the origins of the word is similar. If anyone would like to look that up, we'll give you extra points.
The Catholics imitate this by taking a burning carbon charcoal, and putting frankincense and myrrh and other good stinky stuff on it that'll smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they imitate the censer filled with smoke of God during church. You've probably seen them do that, where they're burning and they're swinging this thing on a chain, you know.
Usually the altar boys, them good altar boys, you know.
Right. Okay. So that's how they ended up translating it, because of the smoke from the altar and all of this in 8.
Are we definitely getting? So you're right.
From the glory of God and from His power, and no man was able to enter into the temple until the 7 plagues and the 7 angels were fulfilled. So.
Right. Now I'm reading this, my mind frame, whatever way you want to take it. And the temple was filled with smoke from the glory of God and from His power, and no man was able to enter into the temple till the 7 plagues of the 7 angels was fulfilled. So we've got an APC, armored angels jumping out, dropping viruses, but the people who are in the temple are protected by this antivirus smoke.
I think there's 2 temples here. One's the planet and the other one's heaven.
I didn't. Yeah, one's the APC, and I was actually thinking of building on Earth. Sorry, I didn't clarify that. I can't believe that I thought the same as you and didn't clarify. Yeah.
That was good.
No, go fuck yourself. I'm actually going to... No, we're kicking you for that. You can go for it. Bye! Right. Yes. So I'm thinking like a church building. I'm thinking... I don't know if you've ever seen that Mel Gibson movie, the American Civil War, when that was happening. And Patriot. Where all the people were burnt in the church. I'm thinking that one fucking fly. I'm thinking that. Landed in my hand, freaked me out. I'm thinking that, but they survive because of the smoke inside. Antivirus, antiviral, and no fuckers from outside are allowed in because they're all being destroyed.
I think the temple it's either our new home or our old home, the whole thing. Because when you start looking up these words like temple and tent, it's like temporary tabernacle, temple, or tent. And then permanent occasions of each of these kinds of words. So I think right here, they're doing a contrast is what I think they're doing here.
If I can just point out, it'd be quicker to say it. Yes, I agree, Andrew. His definition did not agree with me. So he's only going to get half of this arbitrary number that I'm going to make up. Oh, he's at 555226. I'm really tempted to just make it all 5s. Because that'd be pretty. Clout, you're here quite often, you know. Oh no, I can't even, man, my fucking, oh no, my bot's freaked out. My bot, like,
can't you make the number some kind of a sequence? You know, like maybe a mathematical sequence, and that would be more interesting than just a bunch of fives.
2702 217. Followed up by 2040. So we're talking 2702.
How about
20, no, let me see if I can get this right. We're going to go 2702 2017 2040. It's my daughter's 4-point in time and space. Date, month, day, year, time.
Yeah, but that's going to lose him like 30,000 points or something, isn't it?
I don't give a shit. It's the best number in the world. Literally don't give a fuck.
Terrible.
Literally don't give a fuck.
Terrible.
No, Spooky. Spooky, remind me.
They do 5 and 2 is 7, and then 2 and 7 is 9, and then 7 and 9 would be 16. I want to do it like that.
Nope. We'll stick a 0 at the end. That's what I'll do. No, my number. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. He's 6 digits in Spookies. So you count the digits as I said, right?
5,
So we're
2, 7,
talking
9, 1, 6.
27, 02, 20, 17, 20, 40. Many digits in that. That has to be more. I broke Richard. Fuck, I broke Richard.
I think that was 8 digits. I'm not sure.
There you go. You'll be up in points. So Spooky, remind me, you're getting my daughter's 4-coordinate point in space and time for when she existed. 12 digits according to... There you go. I think that might put it ahead of me.
That's over 1 billion, isn't it?
Yeah, that might put it ahead of me. Spooky, well, Spooky is the great leader.
Be careful.
Spooky. I'm taking out
Spooky is the leader, so there you go.
I'm taking out the 0 from 2. We're making it 11 digits.
Okay, I'm getting nervous. I gotta go.
Yeah, no, I don't think you do.
Yeah.
But we will get to the end of the series.
I'm getting nervous. Whether I need to go or not, I'm feeling nervous.
Clout. Revelations chapter 16. Chapter 16. 16 Clout. Remember.
The Rememberer.
What time is it relative to you, Richard, that you need to be there at with Mark?
Johnny Mnemonic. It's about half till.
Oh, you have 30 minutes.
Yes.
Would you do us one favor before you leave? Would you please post the link for all of us in the live chat?
Oh, I didn't even think about it. Okay.
I could get there quicker and Spooky could get there quicker, but do not anyone help this man out because I'm going to keep him on stream to the end of it. By the way, everybody, please do hang around, right? We've got 15 people. Please do hang around for anyone who hasn't watched. I released it the other day. We've got new intro if you want to go back and watch it for all the people who weren't here at the start. And we've got a new outro, all 4K and all cool and stuff. And the outro, massive shout out to all the Patreons. And everybody's been, I don't want to say put in their place, but Regios has definitely been put at the top of the list because the person is fantastic. They do an awful lot for the channel. And thanks everybody who contributes. Thanks everybody for coming and watching. Like, you know, it really is very, very much appreciated. And
it is. That's true.
Clout, the outro, the one I'm going to show now, is even better quality, uploaded in better quality. Oh yeah. So, Richard, have you found the link yet? I'm running out of things to say. Have you got the usual Steve and Mac tomorrow?
Yes, the Mac and the Zebra are scheduled for tomorrow, tentatively. And we always hope to get together to talk about these things.
Perfect. There's that loaded up. Right, back to me and Richard, and that's totally not supposed to do that. There we go. Sorry about that. Forgot to hit a button. Right. Thanks very much, everybody, for coming. And these streams aren't as bad as I expected they would be. Spooky, you were the very first person who ever commented, because I looked back quite recently. The very first person who ever commented on any of my videos, even when it was like 5 minutes long, and then me playing a computer game that was 2 frames for 5 minutes. Spooky was in the live chat. Very first man. So anytime you see Spooky typing first in any of my live chats, FIRST, he's not just first there. First for them all. First for them all. So, yeah, on that note, we will be back Saturday night. We will be having the usual open panels, all going well. Richard, we get you next week? It's not your time yet?
What do you mean it's not yet my time?
Well, you've told...
No,
you've told me you're going to be doing a whole... I have to go fix a house for a month and not going to be here.
I'm gonna take I'll let you know, because I'm gonna take a little time off between those 2 days.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So just let us know. But we have you next week. This is why I'm asking.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I know it's coming up and my memory's not great. So we do have Richard next week. So next Tuesday we'll be here. This Saturday coming, we'll be doing the open panels. ETT fucking giving me shit in other channels saying that I denied him. Emails there, you can see it. I don't even... End time teacher. The white black Hebrew. Oh, talking shit about me saying I'm running from him on fucking other channels. And I've literally an email. And I was, last Tuesday, I was to cancel with you to have a hangout with him. And I emailed him. I'm like, are we on for Tuesday or what's happening? What's going on? I'll let you know. Right, no bother. MathPig running from me.
Cover story, MathPig. We all know you're scared to death of him and running away.
Petrified.
So you make up your own emails. You know, you send it to yourself. It looks all legit. I get it. It's fine.
I'm a liar. Right.
Yeah, it's just terrible.
On that note, everybody, if I have uploaded this correctly, thanks everybody for coming. Really do appreciate everybody coming and watching and having a banter with us. I know we're just a couple of old fools talking aliens and bullshit. And yeah. So on that note, people, think for yourselves. And I do appreciate every single Patreon, every single member, and anyone who comes and watches this bullshit. Thanks, everybody. And on that note, think for yourselves. Oh, fuck me. Can I even do the outro?